amazing merit that we are like, there's 6 grandchildren that are married, that we are the first ones to be able to have the first child and really be able to name the child so close to that passing. And it's a very interesting thing because Opa Benno passed away so recently, and the baby is being born right after. And at the funeral we talked about the amazing person that Opa was and how amazing he was, and this birth sort of represents Chaim, life, and the transition from Misa to Chaim, from life to death, from death to life. So it's really quite a merit to have the first child born after Opa Benno's passing, and he is the exact same name as Opa Benno, no one else. Now I want to just talk about 2 traits. Opa Benno was a wonderful man, and I want to talk about a few things that Opa Benno embodied that my hope that our little Binyamin embodies as well. And when you look back at Opa's life, one of his defining traits was his yashrus, his straightness. He always knew what was right from wrong, and he always did what was right. He wasn't the most learned man. He never had a formal Jewish education. But when he was in Okinawa, in the fires of Okinawa, and they offered him non-kosher meat, even though he was putting his health at risk, and putting your health at risk in a war zone is putting your life at risk, despite that, he did not eat the non-kosher meat. When his platoon mates were anti-Semitic, and they called him little Jew boy fighting the battles, he knew that in that situation he needed to be brave. He needed to stand up in the face of anti-Semitism. He needed to be a brave Jew. And so he won the Bronze Star, he won the Silver Star. He did what was right. Growing up, money did not grow on trees in the Levy household. Or maybe it did, my mom was laughing. He made the very difficult sacrifice to send his kids to have a Jewish education. Why? Because he knew it was right. He knew that he wanted his kids to be able to learn, be able to be Orthodox, be able to, grow up as Jews in a very modern world. So he sent them to Jewish schools. He knew it was right. And he wanted to give them the education that he never had. In the last years of his life, he took that's sort of how he was yashar. And the other trait that I want to talk about is how he was such a Baal Chesed. He was so kind and warm and caring to other people. Whenever you needed something from if I was abandoned on the road, if I needed to ride to the airport, anything. I talked about the funeral that just a few days before Opa Benno passed, he picked me up on the side of the highway because I was abandoned there. So, literally 3 days before. So if you ever needed anything, he was there for you. And then he also just, if you ever needed someone to talk to listen to hang out with, he was always there. He was always a Baal Chesed, unconditional. And in the last 10 years or so of his life, his Chesed was embodied in how he took care of his wife. Just he laid on her hand and foot, put up with her, and everyone knows Safta Ruth. She's a pistol. Not always the easiest person to take care of, and he really did for 10 years. And now we're only just discovering what that meant. You really only appreciate what treasure you have when he's gone, and that's the truest thing about Opa Benno. So it's a real honor to be able to name our child after such a great man. And I hope that if he just strives to be yasher, full of chesed, like Opa Benno, and then he will, I am sure, be a great person and have a blessed life. Thank you all for coming.